Ladies and gentlemen, it's Wednesday, pour yourself a drink and get ready for the first edition of Mandrews' Weekly Wrestling Lockdown Quiz!
Mandrews' Weekly Wrestling Lockdown Quiz! Yeah, let's have some fun!
How's it going, guys? So normally every Wednesday I release a new video, and most of the time they are my first match with Mandrews. Hopefully you've seen them before. If not, go and check them out now. Unfortunately, because of COVID-19 and everybody being stuck at home with the lockdown, I cannot release weekly first match videos at the moment. However, I have decided to now do a weekly lockdown wrestling quiz. So you can do this at home with your friends or your family that you live with, or you can do this over Zoom with some friends, or you can do this on your own. I don't really care. There's not really any strict rules here. Just like a normal quiz, you get a pen and paper, and yeah. And if you cheat, you're only letting yourself down, okay? Just remember that. And me. You're also letting me down. And I'll know. I might have made this first one too hard. So, let's see. Let's throw you guys in the deep end. So, there's going to be 3 rounds of 5 questions in each. At the end of each round, I'll go through the answers, and then we will have one bonus question at the end worth 2 points from a guest wrestler. Let's start off with round number 1, the WrestleMania round.
I'm on my way, I'm making it.
So all of these questions will be about WrestleMania, and this is your first question. Shawn Michaels has had 17 matches at WrestleMania throughout his career. However, how many of those matches were for a championship? I'll repeat that once more. Shawn Michaels had 17 matches at WrestleMania throughout his career, but how many of those matches was a championship on the line? Do you know that one? Because I'm not going to lie, I didn't know the answer to that until I researched before. I didn't know most of the answers to these questions before I looked it up, so there you go. That's a gauge of how well I would do if I was on the other end of this quiz. Question number 2. What WrestleMania has had the highest attendance in history? I'll repeat that again. Which WrestleMania has had the highest attendance in history? Question number 3. At WrestleMania 18, the Hardcore Championship changed hands multiple times. But how many times? Once more, in case you didn't hear, at WrestleMania 18, the Hardcore Championship changed hands multiple times, but how many times? I'll give you a clue here. It's less than you think. If you remember that event, I'm just saying, it's less than you think it is. Question number 4. Who holds the record for the most matches in one night at WrestleMania? And by that I mean the most matches at a single WrestleMania event. So who holds the record for the most matches at one singular WrestleMania event? And question number 5. What was the first match to be repeated at a following WrestleMania? So the first ever rematch, you could say, in WrestleMania history. What was the first match that you saw happen twice throughout the years of WrestleManias? Cool, that was the end of the first round. Let's see how well you did. I, for one, by the way, would have gotten probably all of those wrong. Question number 1. Shawn Michaels has had 17 matches at WrestleMania throughout his career. How many of those matches was a championship belt on the line? And the answer is 7. 7 championship matches throughout his 17 matches in WrestleMania over the years. Question number 2. Which WrestleMania held the biggest attendance in history? The answer is WrestleMania 32 from Arlington, Texas in 2016. Question number 3. How many times did the Hardcore Championship change hands at WrestleMania 18? And the answer is 5. It started off with Maven, I think then it went to Spike Dudley, Hurricane, Molly, Christian, back to Maven. 5 changes. Question number 4. Who holds the record for the most matches in one night at WrestleMania? And the answer is Macho Man Randy Savage, who had 4 matches at WrestleMania 4. Question number 5. What was the first WrestleMania match to be repeated at a following WrestleMania? You're going to kick yourself with this one. It was Hulk Hogan vs. Andre the Giant. The first one happening at WrestleMania 3, and then the second one happening the next WrestleMania at WrestleMania 4. So, tally up your scores. Did you get 0? Probably, because this is quite hard. If you got more than 0, then good for you. So round number 2, this is the photo round. I'm going to show you multiple photos of masked wrestlers, and you need to tell me who they are. So this one might be a little bit easier for you guys, but maybe it won't. It'll be harder, and you'll just end up with 0s. Now, before we get into this, you need to answer with who their wrestling character is under that mask. So for example, if I showed you this photo, and you said Mick Foley, that would be wrong. The answer is Mankind, because Mick Foley is him without the mask, if that makes sense. So number 1, who are these guys? Shiny gold masks, ring any bells? Question number 2, who is this? Now this one I think is relatively easy, depending on how much, you're into your wrestling, but this one, he's great. Question number 3, who is this? Now this one I think is especially hard. I'm not entirely sure how long-lived the career was for this wrestler. However, they have gone on since to achieve great things without the mask. So there's your clue for this one. Number 4, who is this? Now even if you don't know this one, it should, it should ring some bells. Last but not least, number 5, who is this? I think maybe some of the older viewers will get this one, maybe some of the younger ones not so much. Let's see anyway. Alright, let's go through the answers for round 2, the masked wrestler photo round. Number 1, who was this? It was the Los Conquistadors. And you might mainly remember them being played by Edge and Christian or by the Hardy Boys, because that's my main memory of them, so that kind of shows my age, and maybe it shows yours. Number 2, who was this? This is Curry Man. He's hot, he's spicy, he tastes great. If you didn't know that one, then you've let me down. Christopher Daniels' mask gimmick out in Japan. Curry Man is awesome, so if you don't know him, go check him out right now. Number 3, who is this? This is Pegasus Kid 2, who is now known as Finn Balor. That's right, Finn Balor wore a mask when he first went out to Japan, and he was Pegasus Kid 2. I will give a point for Pegasus Kid. If you missed the 2, okay, I'll give you a point for that one. Number 4, who is this?
The answer is Rey Mysterio Sr. That is Rey Mysterio Jr.'s uncle, the original Rey Mysterio.
And last but not least, number 5, who is this? This is Kendo Nagasaki. If you're a British person and you didn't get that right, then do your history homework. All right, on to round 3. This round is championships. Yeah. Question number 1. Who holds the record for the most championships held at any one time? I'll say that again. Who holds the record for the most championships held at any one time? This isn't just exclusive to one company. This is in all of wrestling. Question number 2. Who is the longest reigning champion in wrestling history? I'll say that once more. Who is the longest reigning champion in wrestling history? Number 3, this one I don't think anyone's going to get, if I'm honest. Who is the first British wrestler to ever hold the NWA World Heavyweight Championship? As I said, I'll be impressed if people get this one. Who is the first British person ever to hold the NWA World Heavyweight Championship? Question number 4. Who was the first person to hold the WWE European and Intercontinental Championships at the same time? Otherwise known as the Eurocontinental Champion. What a cool name. The Eurocontinental Champion. So yeah, once more, who was the first person to hold the European Championship and the Intercontinental Championship at the same time? Question number 5. Before ECW closed in 2001, who was the last person to hold the Television Championship? Before ECW closed in 2001, who was the last person to hold the ECW Television Championship? Right guys, that's that round done with. Let's go through the answers. So, question 1. Who holds the record for the most championships held at any one time? And the answer is Ultimo Dragon. I'm sure a lot of you have seen the photo of him holding like hundreds of belts. Well, not actually hundreds, but it's more like 10 or 11. In 1996, Ultimo Dragon defeated Great Sasuke to win the J Crown, which I believe was like 8 belts put together. And then on top of that, he had like 2 or 3 other championships. Question number 2. Who is the longest reigning champion in wrestling history? And the answer is Bruno Sammartino. He held the WWF Championship for over 2,000 days. Number 3. Who is the first British wrestler to ever hold the NWA World Heavyweight Championship?
And the answer is Gary Steele, who won it in 1999.
Question number 4. Who was the first person to hold both the European and Intercontinental Championship at the same time? The answer is D'Lo Brown. D'Lo originally beat Triple H for the European Championship and then went into a title versus title match with Jeff Jarrett, winning the Intercontinental as well, becoming the first ever Eurocontinental champion. And question number 5. Before ECW closed in 2001, who was the last person to hold the ECW Television Championship? The answer is Rhino. So, add up your scores out of 5 and make a little tally at the bottom. Was it still 0? I'm just sorry, this first one's hard. Maybe I'll make it easier next week. But it's not over yet. We still have our guest wrestler question. So get ready for your bonus question. This one is worth 2 points. Over to Travis Banks for your special guest wrestler question.
G'day guys, Kiwi Buzzsaw Travis Banks here. Now on March 9th, 2009, who was the wrestler that I made my debut against?
Thanks for that, Travis. And if you've been watching my channel for the last few months, you should know the answer to this one. So this is a little bit biased, you know. If you've been watching my channel, then you might have the edge on this question. I'm a biased quiz master. And the answer is...
The answer to that question, my friends, was the Nerd. And quick little fun fact for you, his finishing move was called the Rufflecopter. Pretty crazy, eh?
And you can go check out that match on my channel, so subscribe and go watch the video now. Anyway guys, that was this week's quiz. If you enjoyed my weekly wrestling lockdown quiz, then please comment below. Tell me how you did. Did you do well? Did you do terribly? I'm not going to shame you if you got 0, because I probably also would have had 0 if I hadn't looked it all up beforehand. Comment below with what score you guys got. Comment below if it was too easy, which I don't think it was. But comment below if it was too hard. Maybe next week I'll throw in some easier questions. Maybe I'll add in some more rounds. I will hopefully be doing this every week, I guess indefinitely, until this lockdown's over. Make sure you guys are all staying home, staying safe, washing your hands regularly, and I will see you every week here on this channel for Mandrews Weekly Wrestling Lockdown Quiz. See you next week.
Mandrews Weekly Wrestling Lockdown Quiz! Yeah, let's have some fun!